EA Sports, and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the International Challenge. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Always a treat to be in Scotland, Frank, and at one of the oldest golf clubs in the world, Royal Troon.
Yeah, it's getting close to 150 years old. It was first established all the way back in 1878. Actually, the original golf course only had 5 holes on it. But over the most success to American players, the last 6 Open Championship winners were all American.
Has one of the most famous holes in all of major championship golf, the 123-yard par 3-8. It's known as the postage stamp, and one of the legends had a really nice moment there many years ago.
The late Gene Sarazen, the squire, and he had a little ace there, all televised too. It was a great way to remember his phenomenal career.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round.
And great start.
Frank, they call this second hole Black Rock. They also call it the most heavily bunkered hole on the entire course. What do you have to do to stay away from it?
Well, it plays in the same direction as the first hole. So breeze, the prevailing breeze normally off the right. Some bunkers in play either side. Really just let the ball go to ground, let it run out. There's 11 bunkers in total on the second hole. Safely on there.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was a outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Not a real hard game, is it? Birdie to open. Now at the third hole here at Royal Troon, and Frank, another sort of short par 4, just 379 yards.
Yeah, simplicity's the key here, Rich. You don't really want to hit the ball more than 280 yards. Reason why is there's a berm there. And then from there, still only a wedge into a green that has 2 tiers.
315. Got 80 yards left, Frank. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Now this for the previous round. Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here. In the direction of the sand.
It looks like it.
Rub the shamrock. Get away with getting in the bunker there.
Now the third shot, the par 5. Good chance now after that approach shot for a birdie.
And you're so precise coming in, and the measurement is 9 feet away.
Makes the putt for a birdie. Fifth hole, and we pick up the action. A couple of red numbers already on the scorecard. Could not ask for a better start to this final round.
And in the thick of things, too. Playing well, swinging well, iron shots are good, plenty of opportunities out there. Just what you would give just to make a few more putts.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and and he's got it right on track. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Oh, that hurts. Well, that's disappointing. He misses the par putt, and he'll have this for bogey. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news, still has the lead.
Can't afford another, though.
Well, Frank, typically when you step up to a par 5, you're thinking birdie, maybe even eagle. But this is 601 yards, behemoth. It's long, and you can get punished for a mistake here, can't you?
It used to be the longest par 5 on the Open Championship rotor. But remember, there's humps and hollows that can always be used in your advantage. To your advantage. If you aim it down the right side, the ball normally kicks back towards the middle of the fairway. So that's the side to be aiming on. Well, it's going to take a good one here, considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point. Birdie try up next. Birdie putt coming up. The bogey on this hole yesterday. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, we're moving inland now to the 7th hole. It's a 405-yard par 4. What's ahead?
Little dog leg to the right. A couple of bunkers right on the corner of it. So once again, check the breeze and somehow find that fairway.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a line like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
This is a good-looking shot. This has been a tee to green clinic. Absolutely perfect. Everything coming off the center of the club face and everything in regulation. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Clean this up with a tap. Good roll. Solid. That's a par. Frank, this is one of the most famous holes in the whole sport, isn't it?
Postage stamp, just over 120 yards. It might seem short, but it's daunting. Many an Open Championship has been lost on this shortest of par 3s.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good looking birdie.
No snap, though.
Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
Frank, the 9th hole, 423 yards, not especially long by today's standard. You're looking to make birdie here, or you happy to make a par and move on to the back nine?
There's certainly a chance for birdie. One of the hardest things about the 9th is the raised green. And sort of, there's 2 tiers here, just the top level. If that pin is on the top level, then you would certainly walk away with 4 very happily.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. The bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Superb shot.
It's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
His for another birdie on this hole on the week. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back nine, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging while putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most.
That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Frank, what happened to Jack Nicklaus here at the 11th hole back in 1962?
Yeah, that was his rookie year. He was actually looking at making 2 majors in a row. He just won the US Open. Came to the 10th hole, and, well, he made one more than 10. 11 to be precise. So, you never know. If you make a 5 or a 6, it's not so bad when you consider what happened to Jack Nicklaus all the way back in 1962.
Long and straight, about 220 yards, and in the fairway. Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday with another opportunity on the way. Locked in on the read and the speed. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Back here on the bonny shores of Scotland at Royal Troon Golf Club with just a wee breeze, as they say over here, Frank. On the tee at the 12th.
The hole that bends to the right, horse right and left. There's a bit of a mound in the rough down the right side that has to be avoided.
Good strike, good line, good chance to attack the pin. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here.
Looks like setting for the bunker.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
That is frustrating, Frank. Cannot get it out of the bunker.
He's not done yet.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Continues to hold that sizable lead on the rest of the field. Frank, on paper, 13 seems pretty straightforward. But it's not that simple, is it?
No, very stringent tee shot. Gorse right and left, plus a little sort of mound with some rough on down the right side. So really you've got to hit the ball down, not just the fairway, but the left side of the fairway.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think, you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here. And it's a big green. Managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Pretty long putt right there. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey. Drop shot here at the 13th. Just 5 feet left. That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
We start to see shots in hand, really valuable.
Heading for home now, Frank. The par 3 14, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second two that we're really worried about, that narrow the front of the screen. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly it more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
Birdie try again here today. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
In for par. At the 15th, this par 4 is over 480 yards.
The key here really is the 3 bunkers, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. 260 yards gets you past that. If you find the fairway here, then you don't have to worry about the 3 bunkers that are short of this green.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
I like the looks of this one. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Virtually no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Frank, here's the only par 5 on the back 9 at Royal Troon.
You'd think at 542 yards it would be reachable, but the burn that cuts across really limits the tee shot to about 280 yards. So it's very much about placing that second shot in a good distance for your third.
In the 1997 Open Championship here at Royal Troon, you played with Tiger Woods in the 3rd round.
What a green, then knocked it in from about 45 feet for eagle.
Well, you don't want to compound the error. Out of bounds and now back on the tee with a provisional. This one has to be in play. 3rd shot now after having gone OB. This is how you build a good round, Frank, is just keep hitting greens. Not a problem from there, right in the middle. Final par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 17th. And what kind of a hole is it, Frank?
Well, this takes your best long iron shot. Normally plays back into the prevailing breeze. You miss this green on the left, it will run all the way down the hill. The bunkers might look short, but if your tee shot isn't hit properly, it'll puff up into that breeze and certainly find a pot bunker.
Now this one is offline just a bit. Look out. That one is going to end up in the rough.
Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Frank, this is where the mental game really comes into play. You've hit a 2nd consecutive shot into the rough.
This could compound very, very quickly, so now's the chance to just take a little breath, take a breather, and try to make sure this shot certainly gets out. Well, from in trouble, Rich, at least he's back in play.
On the fairway from the rough. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Going to have to regroup now after that double bogey. Frank, now the final hole, steeped in so much history. When you think about the legends of the game who have walked off this tee on their way to the claret jug, guys like Tom Watson, Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke.
If you've got a one-shot lead standing on this tee, somehow you have to avoid those 4 bunkers. 3 down the left, 1 down the right, with a strip of fairway in between.
And he's set up for his 2nd shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie to win the International Challenge. Good putt. That's why you play the game, to stack up the wins. Great effort right there. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present opening round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait. At least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
That would be a great look at birdie. And pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Well, the time is now to start making birdies, and there we go. One on the board, and suddenly inside the top 20.
Yeah, nothing to be ashamed of in that, but really, you've got to be aggressive from here on in.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Little uphill to this green, Frank. That one is in the bunker. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. One under early in the round. Frank, 227 yards from the back tee here at the par 3 third. This is all you want.
Oh, that's for sure. Plays a little longer than that, too, by virtue of playing uphill. Thin air might negate some of that. There's going to be a good shot just to keep the ball on the green. One of the smaller greens here. This is not heading in the right direction.
Looks like it's going to be in the rough. How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. Going to need a little bit of luck.
Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole. From that spot,
well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So, given that, that was a very good shot.
and into the thicker stuff.
Let's see if he can bludgeon this one out.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, hit the stroke limit on that one. And now back over to the fourth. It has not gone all that well early in the round for our featured golfer. What do they need to do, Frank, to turn this thing around?
Well, you can't dwell on what's just happened. There's plenty of holes ahead. Look at the scorecard, par fives to play, things like that. Really pick apart this golf course. There's going to be plenty of opportunities around the green.
It's tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Wind at the back, 90 yards away. Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Shouldn't be a problem here. Frank, so many good young players, and there is Patrick Rodgers. He is certainly in that mix, only a couple of shots behind. Now to the par 5 fifth hole. Cut it over the ridge here, Frank?
Well, if you can, if you dare. And there is actually a stream here. I know we're in the middle of a desert, but if you can clear that stream, that's the main thing. This is a crazy-looking tee shot because it looks like you want to go down that left, down that canyon area, but if you don't know the exact distance you fly the ball, then you're going to be in lots and lots of problems. Those collection of 3 bunkers down the right side, as long as you can avoid that, then that second shot to this par 5, that's not overly long, it's just under 500 yards, is certainly reachable. Second shot will play uphill to a elevated green with, once again, 3 different levels.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking. That's well played. Oh, good look at birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Getting set now over the putt. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
An ill-timed double bogey for him, but he has to make it first. So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Here at the 6th, 447-yard par 4. Pretty good hole, Frank.
Yeah, probably a layup hole, too, for the longer hitters. Something out there around the 280, 290-yard mark to make sure you don't go it in the stream. Obviously, it's a dogleg ride, as you can see. The canyon on both sides is sort of well-defined, so you know where not to go. Second shot plays a little bit back up the hill to a green, once again, that's anything other than flat. It's fun. You've got to make sure you get that ball on the right tier if you want to have a birdie putt here.
Seems to like it. Headed for the back part of the green.
That was not an easy bunker shot. He made it look so easy.
Really good composure. That bunker was not going to mess up his plans here. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee.
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And what I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here. And it's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Just a little tap in here. Saves par, stays at 3 over. Frank, the 8th here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada is really the signature par 3, isn't it?
I'd go so far, Rich, to say this is a great par 3. Doesn't matter where it was played. The stream that sort of comes all the way down there and surrounds the left side of the screen makes this hole really daunting. Logic would say if you're going to miss the screen, obviously you miss it to the right, but it's just a beautiful hole. And then you put the fact that the canyon frames the whole hole itself. It's beautiful. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want to?
Just need to settle down, relax on this next shot after going out of bounds.
The amount of times somebody splits the fairway after hitting one out of bounds is astronomical.
This will be the 3rd shot after being penalized for going out of bounds. Wow, don't know how a player of this caliber misses it to the left that badly from that short a range. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Couple shots over par. Stepping up to the shot here at the 9th, it's a par 4, 390 yards.
It is anything other than straight off the tee because of all these sort of undulations and curvature on the fairway. You'd think well bunkered, but the last bunker on the right side there, longer hitters, they can nearly fly that, just over 300 yards. Look at that, shorter hitter just played that fat area of the green. That'll be sort of some, 270 yards. That will take all the water out of play into a green that slopes back at you. So very good chance he can get a wedge in and get the ball close. Good way to finish the front nine.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look and getting ready for the putt. And you do it one at a time. So with that, we're at +4. Started the back nine here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner for EA Sports with my partner Frank Nobilo. Frank, tell us about the 10th.
It looks intimidating off the back of this tee, Rich, and that's because the desert ridge on that right side, it sort of blocks your view, and you don't see the right side of this fairway. Once you realize there's a lot more room to the right, then that tee shot becomes a little bit easier. Now, also the angle of this green, you're going to see it sort of turn to the right there, so you've really got to be careful on where the flag is positioned on this green. If they put the flag back right, then obviously that's the hardest this hole's going to play. Flag sort of left of center, then this still could very much be a birdie hole.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. From about 8 feet. On a rocky road to this point, 4 over par on the round. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. necessarily green, but green grass around it. A good shot safely on the putting surface here, and this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par three just to look at, or even at least experience.
Frank, this is a cross-country putt. He'll have a go at it, though, for birdie. We'll see.
There's no backing down here. This is going to go up and down and all over the place, but a chance to go in.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Almost. Wow.
Had every chance of going in.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. And he makes it for a bogey here. Frank, the par 5 12th is another case of a hole where you see that Wolf Creek Golf Club can actually be kind of scary, daunting. You look out at the desert mountains, and then you add in some water, which we have here on the left, and you can go for some big numbers here if you're not careful.
Well, this is where the Wolf and the Creek can take a bite out of you. You hit it left off the tee, then you're certainly going to start to rack up a number. There's enough fairway down the right, but once again, if you hit a good drive and this hole is reachable for you, then you've got to worry about the water, which is to the right of this green. 5 wouldn't be the worst score you could make around here, that's for sure. I've seen 6s and 7s.
Pretty far from the hole, but still on green, and that's never too bad.
And pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Oh my goodness, woefully short on that putt. Good chance here. Can't get them all back at once, but it does go in the right direction. Now at +4. 13th hole here at Wolf Creek, and Frank, anyone can say, oh, I'm going to take this one over the trees. But very few can stand up and say, I'm flying this baby clear over the mountains.
Yeah, if you take the direct route, obviously it's going to be much shorter than the 350 yards that it's measured as a dogleg right. So the direct line, well, I don't want to tell you the exact yardage because it might give you too much of a clue, but it might be worth taking. It's going to be a blind tee shot, though. I'm not quite sure on the outcome.
Well, we've seen this before today in the bunker. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
Pretty good shot. That ball settles in about 13 feet away.
And you'd like to think unlucky for some, but birdie putt coming up.
How does that not go in? Rough day so far. 4 over par on the round. Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
Well, it's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on, Rich, and you can see why. Great vantage point of the whole golf course. Hole's just sort of littered with bunkers down the left side, so you know where not to go once again. Go to the right side of that. The hole just keeps sort of hooking around that left side. It plays under 450 yards. It's fun. Just sort of draw it a little off the tee, draw it a little into the green, and you'll be fine.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Right off the edge. Wow.
That hurts.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Did the job right there. Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down in those bunkers because they're a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9, he doesn't know.
Hoping to get this up and down here, Frank, at the par 3 after missing the green.
Yeah, it's not all bad.
Shot right there. These putts keep the round together. All right, hanging in. That's a par and 4 over. Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, another good scoring chance.
If you can avoid the confusion off the tee, it looks like the hole might be a dogleg, then is it a carry? It meanders from one way to the other, but really when you actually break the hole down, it's virtually straight ahead. Those 2 bunkers in the driving distance, they frame the hole nicely, so play it as a straightaway par 4. It should set up beautifully for just a little short iron and perhaps a birdie opportunity. I've seen some long tee shots. The advantage to tee that ball up, get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
He's hit the green, but his work is by no means finished. A difficult putt coming up from about 25 feet. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Frank, you licking your chops here at the par 5, 17th hole?
Oh, why not? A chance to reach a par 5 and 2, but there's still pitfalls in front of you. A little creek or stream runs across the fairway, so really limiting the distance you can hit that tee shot, but it's still reachable from just short of that creek. Find trouble off the tee, then obviously you turn it into a 3-shot, but a good tee shot, and it's too tempting to resist not going for this green.
Frank, that is how it's done.
Yeah, take a closer look. That is a lesson in itself.
And now a chance for eagle. Trying to climb back at +2. 18th hole, and Frank, again, a good scoring opportunity. Short par 4.
Yeah, if you looked at the scorecard, you'd think you could drive this green, but one quick look at the trouble in front and to the right of the screen, you realize that's probably not a prudent play. Really, something 230, 240 yards off the tee in that vicinity is going to leave you just a flick wedge into this green. It is a rather narrow green, but from that distance, you'd expect to hit it close.
And yet again, he has hit it off the tee and into the bunker. And it makes the green in regulation. Long putt here. This will require a good touch. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Add him up, and it comes to 74 for the day. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present second round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Always some extra excitement when you get to the first major championship of the year, and here we are. Rich Roeder alongside Frank Nobila. We're at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada for the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Partner, this is a big one.
It certainly is, Rich, and being the first major of the year, you know the players are going to be a little bit more nervous. Anticipations of a great year are going to start right here this week at Wolf Creek. And you're going to have to make all those adjustments out there. Is your game ready? Can you adjust for the changes in elevation? And do you have the confidence to go all the way and pick up the first major championship of the year?
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Oh boy, way short. Have to hit it. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, you couldn't hit that much better.
Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. Here at the par 4, 445-yard second hole. Severe dogleg to the left. What's the best play here, Frank?
Well, that tee shot, Rich, is so intimidating, so you don't necessarily have to hit driver. Club decision is probably going to be important here, because if you hit driver, you've got to take it down over that left side all over the canyon there. So if you hit 3-wood, you can play a slightly more conservative tee shot, but it is going to leave you a longer second shot to a green that's well protected on the right side by bunkers. But really, you know, if the wind's not blowing, this is a really good, fun hole to play. Look at the vistas. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Superb shot.
It's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Settles in over the putt. Frank, I'm sure it feels good to get some red numbers on the card, but this tournament is probably too far out of reach at this point.
Good question.
Now on to the third, first of the short holes here at Wolf Creek. Uphill shot, Frank?
Yes, it's going to play a little longer because of that. Then it's 227 yards off the back tee. Hard to imagine you have a par 3 in amongst this desert. And really, that's all it is. Tee and green. There's not much in between. Well protected, as you can see, by those bunkers. And this green a little smaller than what you'd like for a hole that's around that 230-yard mark.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. This is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Not used to seeing that. Going to drop a shot at the third. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Frank, it has been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey. Back to the tee here at Wolf Creek. A lot of sand along the right side of this fairway leading up to the green, Frank.
Yeah, I can't even count how many bunkers they've got down that right side. It's easy to see where not to go. So obviously you want to get that ball up on that left side. And then really it's just a short pitch across. Well, this hole's only 383 yards. And it can't even really play its distance. But of course, you've got to be careful. It's not long, but fairway first once again here. You can see all the problems around it if you do miss this fairway.
Good chance now for a birdie. That is an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Oh, yeah, he made it for a birdie. How about this hole, Frank? Par 5, fifth.
If you stand on this tee for the first time, you've got virtually no idea where you've got to aim. Do you aim it left of those bunkers? Do you aim it over the sort of the canyon? Really, the answer is how far do you hit it, because that is going to determine the line that you hit it on. Avoid the water, that little stream. You can always have a drink on the way if you want to, I guess. Second shot plays uphill, but this is a relatively short par 5, so very reachable. But you can see you've got to flight that second shot and make sure that ball's coming in nice and high to this green that's perched up.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Birdie try up next.
Ooh, chance for birdie.
That's a birdie, and that's a good position from which to make a weekend move, comfortably inside the cut line, still with plenty of time left in this tournament.
Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that is.
And it's tasty looking right there from just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from that.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Good swing, good shot yet again. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
He's made it. Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee.
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And where I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
That is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
I'd love to get this one. Big putt for birdie.
Starting to move now, Frank, on this leaderboard.
Certainly going all in the positive direction. He's in the middle of the pack, now top 15.
Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard, and it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long, too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Close. Couldn't ask for much more on that putt.
It's no snack, though. Oh, another one goes in.
Stepping up to the shot here at the 9th, it's a par 4, 390 yards.
It is anything other than straight off the tee because of all these sort of undulations and curvature on the fairway. You'd think well bunkered, but the last bunker on the right side there, longer hitters, they can nearly fly that just over 300 yards. All of that shorter hitter just play that fat area of the green. That'll be sort of some, 270 yards. That will take all the water out of play into a green that slopes back at you. So very good chance, even with a wedge in hand, to get the ball close. A good way to finish the front nine.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here safely on the dance floor.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Setting up to start the back nine here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front nine, Frank Hill will be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
Good contact, good result.
Oh, that had some meat behind it.
Frank, briefly educate us on course slope rating.
Yeah, it's a system that goes along with our handicap system, so you can compare one golf course to another. If you played a very, very flat golf course, you would have a relatively low slope rating. So when you use that with your handicap, that would figure it out. So if you decided to go and play Wolf Creek and it has a slope rating of 154, that's factored into how difficult it is to chip and putt around this golf course and how much of the elevation affects your golf score. And that's really to equate golf all over the world.
Clean this up with a tap. Not a problem from there, right in the middle. On to the 11th hole, we're looking downhill, 215 yards to the green.
And this is one of the holes that you realize you're at Wolf Creek. You would never see this hole anywhere else in the world. It's amazing when you stand on this tee. You see all of the canyons around, but there is a little green area down there surrounded by a couple of bunkers. It's a great-looking par 3. It measures 215 yards. Very playable, and you never know. Today might be the day when you make birdie.
Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. Frank, a little chip shot here from the fringe. Now, a lot of options. I've seen some players hit 6-iron. Others will shut down like a sandwich.
Yeah, there's two schools of thought. Some people just try and perfect like one club. But really, the best chippers chip with a variety of clubs.
Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
That's how you keep a round going, make them from that distance. Now to the par 5, 12, pretty big hole with a really big green.
And a really good blue area to the left, called water there. That's to be avoided off this tee, that's for sure. A good drive that avoids all of that. Then the hole is certainly reachable, but as you can see, water creeps in again, back right on this hole. So just don't get too cavalier here. A 5 wouldn't be the worst score. I know you want better, but believe me, seen many a 6s and 7s racked up here at 12.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. So a long putt there, just didn't read it quite right. Coming off a bogey here yesterday, chance to make it right. So into the top 15 on the leaderboard with that birdie. A few more, and who knows, maybe top 10 or top 5. 13th hole, and Frank, Wolf Creek is really kind of a macho golf course because you can stand on a tee like this and say, you know what, I'm going to take this one over the mountains.
And then, if you do, then you flip the coin. Is it in play or is it out of play? This is one hole. You just you realize you're in the middle of the desert, that's for sure. And one hole that you think, well, if I play this hole a couple of times, I might just get the hang of it.
good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, it's amazing. It's a masterclass in short game.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Has his par. Now to the 14th hole, and Frank, this is probably the best par 4 here at Wolf Creek.
It's certainly the hole that they take the most photographs on, Rich, and you can see why. Great vantage point of the whole golf course. The hole's just sort of littered with bunkers down the left side, so you know where not to go once again. Go to the right side of that. Hole just keeps sort of hooking around that left side. It plays under 450 yards. It's fun. Just sort of draw it a little off the tee, draw it a little into the green, and you'll be fine. That club must have melted after that one.
Okay, partner, what's the right play into the green here at 14?
This one, Rich, you'd actually like to go green backwards, because if you look at the green first, it's got 3 distinct levels. It's the low point at the back there, and then there's a high point in the middle, and then obviously the front of the green. So you've got to know exactly where that second shot's going to land. Plus, chances are you're going to be playing that second shot with the ball slightly above the feet. Therefore, the tendency for a right-hander is that ball to be coming in with a draw. So be very cognizant of that.
That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
And he has it.
A good putt.
Par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, this is the shortest hole on the course.
And their version of a postage stamp type hole, minus the bunkers on the right side. Green elevated, falls off as you can see down the left side. Club selection is vital, but it is such a short hole. It's very, very tempting, especially when that flag's on the left side, to still go at it. But you miss this green on the left, and you are going to be considerably lower than the level of this green.
Really no chance to go in there. So a tester from 4 feet. Well done. Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, another good scoring chance.
If you can avoid the confusion off the tee, it looks like the hole might be a dogleg, then is it a carry? It meanders from one way to the other, but really when you actually break the hole down, it's virtually straight ahead. Those 2 bunkers in the driving distance, they frame the hole nicely, so play it as a straightaway par 4. It should set up beautifully for just a little short iron and perhaps a birdie opportunity.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie.
It's that sneaky distance. Oh, now that is going to hurt.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Never a bad score on the card. That's par. Now to the 17th, par 5 here at Wolf Creek Golf Club.
Yeah, dogleg left. Tee shot obviously has to be played short of that creek down there. It's still going to be a reachable hole, even though this hole's sort of around the 550, 560 mark. But because you've got to play short of that stream, it's going to leave a lengthy second shot, and you've got to get the distance right on the button. Happiness is a long walk after that one.
Now the second shot to the par 5. Eagle attempt on the way. She goes in over the front.
Frank, that's what you want to do. Good lag putt.
Yeah, they can't all go in.
Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Now, this time, one gets them in the top 10.
Now the closing hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, what's ahead of us?
You could try and drive at this green, but there's too much trouble, really, Rich. Even though this hole's just over 300 yards, it's very ambitious to try and drive it across that water. Some might try. Most people try and hit a tee shot 240, 250-yard mark, and of course, do the math, you're only going to have 60 or 70 yards in, and they want you to finish on a good note. So good drive in the fairway here, or free work, pitch it on the green, make a three, and call your friends, bring to the club.
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
It's a sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot.
Just a little tap in here. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
So that is a top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2 rounds left in the tournament.